Welcome back. Though there is increasing recognition of the role of women in every sphere of the society, there is still a low representation of females in politics in Nigeria. At the last general elections in the country, female candidates accounted for a mere 8%, with only 32 of them elected into the national parliament. As 2015 general elections come to us, will women be given a fair chance to vie for political office, or will the status quo continue? Joining us to discuss this is a gender and women's rights activist, Mrs. Olutoyin Fakade. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
To give us your view, you can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this. All right. 2015 is around the corner, and we've seen a lot of women come up in various spheres, in NAFDAC, in finance, in various ministries in our country. And they've done excellent. They've done really, really good so far. Now, do you see women actually pushing forward to do more come 2015? And will they get the support if they do?
Thank you very much, Morayo. Morayo, rather. Please pardon me.
It's okay.
2015 is so close. By February ending, our elections should be concluded, so that you have 3 months for anybody who want to contest, any results. This is September. If you look all around what is going on, have you heard of even many of the women you talked about that they are doing well at NAFDAC, those who are in government engagements, those who are even in the political parties already coming out for one position or the other?
No.
You can't find out around. Look at 2011. 2007 was at this point for me, it's even so low. I want to believe that the women are discouraged. They have always come out to support the men. And sometimes some of them will push it towards, why are they not supporting one another? But it's also part of the game that the men plays on us. Some of us will look at it as if, let's say, it's my husband or my husband's friend. How do I go against that? But what we are saying here is that right from the political parties, there should be a policy, as we are now beginning to have. We have the gender policy in Nigeria that should give an encouragement for women to come out. There is a queue system. I know it's of late that we are encouraging women to join politics. The men have been there over the years. So if they are using the queue system that, you meet them, and I wonder when Nigerian women will come out.
It's one of the things that really hurts me. Is like when companies even try to incorporate women, they give women silly roles like PR of the Nigerian or something. They're always, women are now the spokespersons of almost every party, or one organization or the other.
Mariah,
and it's really, really annoying.
May I disagree a little that we are the problems of women? Sarah Jubril over the years kept on coming out. There are women in PDP. Not once did she get the support of the women. So when people say that we've been discouraged, yes, you have seen people like Sarah Jubril determined, coming out every election and saying, I want to be president of Nigeria, no support. And then there are women, they're not doing anything. So why would other women come out?
Well, okay, in addition to that, I remember back in the East, during the last elections, I remember 2 very prominent women came out in Oka. Uche Kunife and Dora Akinyi.
What happened to her?
Amongst the both of them, none of them even came close to the seat. Reason being that when a woman is up for election, a woman who is a politician is not to be trusted. Why is that?
Well, people come up with that, and we don't have to believe that. Anybody who has evil tendency is not a question of male or female. I always say this. Sometimes even when you are driving on the road, you often find that because you are a woman, you say, is a woman. Whereas you have so many terrible male drivers. Oftentimes the accidents you see out there are the women involved. So the same thing, there are a lot of things that we have put in our minds as a people, as a nation, and let's even say as Africans. Part of our culture is like, it's strange to them. I was listening to your discussion this morning, and they said, life is dynamic. Things have to change. If we are saying certain things should stay, then slavery should have stayed. We shouldn't have booted that out. So a lot of things you are seeing in statistics that people roll out. You are only just wondering. Look at yourself, Morayo. Out of 167 million, you are just one. So in terms of probability, when they are picking names, they might not pick when they are doing such researches. And there are a lot of things that the truth that come out of this, the women were for ourselves. Please don't let us be divided. The men will always come up with that. The women who are in government today, we talk about Abike Dabiri, a host of them. The votes that took them there, women's votes are there. So don't let us look at Sarah Jubril alone. I don't like to hear that
I have an issue
anywhere. And I've taken it up, being somebody from an NGO background. I sat down somewhere when she came out the last time before she was given this position. I said, we should ask her, there's something amiss. It's always close to election
that she comes out.
That she now comes out.
Yes.
Should be somebody who is already reaching out. And I expect some of our women to also learn the nitty-gritty of politics. What the men do that cause them to stay. Some of them will become governors. They are not, and they are still relevant. It pains me to see those who have served in the past as deputy governor or senator or anything else, and you discover that they are not the issue of being a godmother or so, or give a support.
Yes,
you must have people you are mentoring. Yes.
You see, sometimes because the arguments I've heard out there is that for a woman to do the kind of things those men do, you will not stay in your husband's house.
Yes, so.
Because there's no way you're going to be staying in somebody's house.
Staying out overnight.
Because you're trying to lobby.
Because somebody is even tweeting saying, ladies, women are not well represented in politics because they will be controlled by their husband. There's still the husband factor. You know, what is the place of a woman being submissive to her husband?
Yes.
And, you know, matching that role. I know sometimes they have like 3 a.m. They're still in a meeting. You know, so
even their national conventions overnight.
Well, so I want to believe it's a lot of negotiations. Life is about negotiation. For those who have made it, there must have been negotiations with their family or whichever constituency that they represent. Okay. It's a whole lot of things that come to play, even for the men, when you go in there. So that's why I said they should learn. For example, the deputy governor of Lagos State, I know I've brought, you know, visitors from outside Nigeria when she was the commissioner, although she's still the commissioner, doubling with the deputy governor. And he was saying, all of you'll be speaking English. Look at all of you beautiful here. You won't join politics, that they don't have that number. You know, the more it is, it's more like you are doing lottery. That if they have to shuffle something, at least somehow a part of that number will come. True. But as I'm here today speaking, as much as I'm encouraging the women, I'm also saying things that are also scolding some of our women. By the kind of work that I do, I have been at a local government, and what I hear is appalling.
I have a call. Princess Jessica, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
You're blessed women.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to speak of this because I'm a woman. And I like the fact that we're discussing our own matters. Men, they have their issues. But when they come together concerning a particular cause, they pursue it together. But we always envy each other, one way or the other.
Preach.
So we start to crack our own house, and we expect some other people to come and build it for us. It doesn't happen. We should put our differences away and face the issue of being, we're the best leaders. We handle everything best and all that. Then please, I want to say something else. We always condemn ourselves. Like on Thursday, I tried so hard to get through. We were talking about a woman. We didn't talk about the man, what the man did, but we're talking about what the woman did.
Thursday, yes.
Yes. So please, we should look at issues the way they are and not look at who we are.
Fantastic.
Because we are better than that.
Thank you very much, Princess.
Now,
really appreciate it.
Let me just drop something. She talked about putting differences aside, and there is this popular opinion that if women are presidents of a country, there will just be a bunch of jealous women not talking to each other, bad-mouthing each other. So about putting differences aside, isn't that the same thing that is going on with the men in their political parties? Each day we flip newspapers and we see APC saying PDP did this and then PDP saying it. So
they're fighting each other all the time.
Isn't that the same thing?
Okay.
But
that's just like what I say about common phenomenon. That is not a question of being male or female. But it's because the men have occupied that space for so long, and we've seen them turn out one another at different points. But because the women are coming in and we are so minute in our number, and all they need to do is also use such things also to slight us. For me, what is common to us as women is common to the men. Why do you have the rate of assassination in the nation?
I have Yakubu call, but I want to ask a question. Good morning, Yakubu. Are you there?
I'm there.
Go ahead, please. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
don't let us forget something this morning. There is a natural problem there. The natural problem I'm referring to is that God Almighty Allah is already making man as a leader.
Oh,
don't
please.
let us forget that. But even with that,
Yes.
that it doesn't mean that a lady or a woman cannot be a leader. But the problem is lady, woman, themselves. Why am I saying this? The reason is this. A situation whereby a president, he has a wife, as a wife to president, and then another person come out of another party, being a woman. Are you telling me that because of the muscle that the woman, the president's wife have, to mobilize woman against the same woman comes from another party? You cannot match it because you will never pray that such woman become a president because of our own personal selfish interest. Because we want our husband to be continue remain that leader. For him to be able to continue what she's doing. That is it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Yakub.
Before you ask your question, may I chip in that based on this principle, you shouldn't even send the girl child to school at all because the man is supposed to be leader.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask a question because one thing about women supporting each other. You see, one thing I've always told myself is that, listen, when we have to make it work for women to work together. Even if when women make mistakes, even when we make, because a lot of women will make mistakes, just like men do, we should stand together because I want to bring the Stella Odua matter. Because I was very passionate during that period, and I used to fight me almost all the time. I'm not saying she was right. I'm not saying what she did wrong. But you see, women must be seen together. Imagine if Estella was there and they saw women coming together. Yes, we are condemning her for what she did was wrong. But don't throw her out of what she's doing well. Because, so I'm bringing that into perspective. I'm bringing that into perspective. We will make mistakes. Women must stick together.
Yes, I think I watched a bit of your programs within that period.
Yes. And
I can understand different angles that you are all coming from. I said something at the beginning, that women, we must learn the tricks of the game. Exactly. Now, sometimes we get into positions and we don't look back. The men, they always hold their constituency. Most of our women, they become a commissioner, this, that. The women constituency is left behind. That's why I said, as much as I want to speak for them this morning, I'm also going to do a bit of scolding for us to move forward. Because some of us are agitating for them, but what do we hear?
Yes.
Some of the grassroots will tell you, she has gone, she doesn't look back. Some of the men, they have empowerment programs for them.
Good morning, Faith. Are you there?
Good morning, Mariah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Good morning. How is the baby doing?
Very well. They're good.
Okay. Mariah, see, I want to disagree with some of you this morning.
Okay.
Because the position that women are held in this country, what are the results?
Thank you.
Look at Mary Organ fooling herself on Friday on TV. Yes, Mariah, I will say it on TV, I will say it on papers. It's a big shame. They mention the name of an Igbo man, it becomes a problem. Is that how we should leave passion out of this? What is going on in this country? Let's face reality. Boko Haram are killing people. There is problem everywhere. Our name is being mentioned. The presidency, they push one person aside because it's from the eastern part of Nigeria. How can we continue with this in this country? We are advocating for women to be in power. We are advocating for many things to change in this country. Even the women that is in position, they are slapped to faces of women.
Fantastic.
God bless you, ladies.
Thank you very much.
She's asking.
Let me come to her.
Let me just make one quick point. She's asking, what has the men achieved? Okay, but hold on. The question is, I'll tell you what the men has achieved. They have achieved staying in office and embezzling money and getting away with it, while the women are in office, they embezzle and they get caught.
Interesting point,
it's not issue of being caught. There are some that are still embezzling and they're not being caught. No, I want to, because you see, the truth is, I love women in power, in politics and all that. But you see, you cannot isolate women with their spending, their whatever accessories and fashions and all that. Listen.
Excuse me.
Listen, you cannot isolate it. So how
are we buying private jets?
Women.
Yes. We're only buying diamonds and gold. How much is that?
Diamond is not expensive. I just want to I mean, for us, yes, what do we do? You know, because as women, you know, it's not enough to say that we want to come into politics. I want women that I'll be proud of and beat it on my chest and say, okay, yes,
I
that
am
woman is
proud of
doing a good
Obiose Ekwesili any
yes,
day.
I'm proud of her, but you see, is she still active in government?
Well, she
has to step aside because she knows that if she's there,
things
will happen. You know?
Okay. Yeah, you asked the question, what do we do?
Yeah.
women, we really have to stand strong. Many of us are educated, but not really transformed.
Okay.
And what do I mean? Because you find a lot of people rush back to school. I've seen some of them who perchance, maybe by appointment or by election, they are there. And, one of our universities, I don't want to mention universities here, it's a common place to quickly go and get a degree. But transformation of the mind matters a lot. When a woman is transformed, the kind of thing you mentioned, Uwa, that some people are putting money into jewelry, that wouldn't be it. It is touching lives that will be the uppermost in your heart. So one thing our women need to do, how will they get their mind transformed? Well, some of us are not knowledgeable enough about what to do. Some are not in various networks that can also help them. Yes, they play politics.
Another problem I have with women, ma'am, is the fact that even when they, just like you were saying, just like when they get into office, you see, these women leaders, what they do is, when it comes to, maybe they're having a rally now, what they allocate to us is, go and organize the Ankara, go and talk to the, go and get the Lolilu, go and the food. That's our women, and we actually take that role perfectly well. Happily.
That's why even
and we always come out as deputies.
It's worrisome.
Yes, it's part of why I'm here this morning. I think we should have female governorship aspirants come up. We shouldn't just have.
If I come out, will you support me?
You see the party system. What you don't understand, Jumoke, the party system.
What have I done when they have not given me a chance?
Is what we filled you out. What do we have in the party politics?
Exactly.
That filled up men and women.
Exactly. Chinyere, are you still there?
Thing.
Chinyere, go ahead.
She's there.
I think I lost that. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
So I said it's a party politics. It's whatever the party brings out that they will support, and it's what the world will also go out to say, oh, I'm voting for this. So a lot of work that needs to be done is at the party level. If this must change.
May I take 3 tweets so that you can respond to them? Bisola says, how many of the women in politics have a good marriage or remain in marriage? I think this is one of the things that restricts some women. Samuel Sam says, from my own standpoint, women would make better leaders than most men we have now, judging from you ladies in the studio. Thank you, Samuel. Ellis Oraka says, women in politics is a lovely idea, but if I must say something, the women should rally around each other to push them to places.
Let's talk about the marriage thing she mentioned.
Yes, many times it's not even just politics. For those of us in the NGO, some will say, oh, how many of them are married? But what we are talking about in Nigeria, for change to be, and we talk about gender equality, it is not just marriage alone that we are looking at. Some people sometimes, for things to work, sacrifice a lot of things. It's not those who are married alone that make politics work. Let's check it. Even the men that they are out there, there are so many of them that we have cases of their wives that are thrown out already, or probably children suffering because they are also in politics. So it's not just an issue of women alone. If we turn around some things, I give it to political parties, I challenge them. Why are you doing meetings at night all the time? Your families also need you. So some of them are also losing their families. But because they are men, we don't get to talk about it. But when it's a woman, we pick it up as if it's an issue. So it's the same factor that is militating against the men also militates against the women. So it's not just the women alone.
Yeah, you were saying that show me your track record. Is exactly like a university graduate who comes out and you're asking for 5 years experience. You haven't given me a chance yet. Where am I going to get that experience? How do I know you can lead me if I don't
How
did we know that the men could lead us?
There is always a track record. Don't go there.
Excuse me.
There's always a track record.
So
your life that you're living now, I would check it and see that is it an exemplary life before I now could give you office to account for.
There are 17 million Lagosians. How many of them know me personally?
You see, one thing is this: when a child is growing up, it will crawl, it will walk gradually, and it will start running. The men had that. The women have not had enough years to play this out. And the men are also okay. You see, the issue of Ankara and food, please, life is a matter of choice. Let them take. But what I am saying this morning, let them also go after the tangible things from now. Somebody has to play that role. So it's one thing for them to take the money to do food, to do Ankara. Normally in rallies, they will do all that. But what I'm saying is, let them also get up.
Learn the ropes of governance while you're doing your Ankara.
No, I'm not saying they should learn the ropes of governance. What I'm saying is those roles have been there over the years.
Yes.
They have been tagged to it to do it.
Yes.
They can do and also see ask for more. There's a starting point to go into something.
Yes.
You can't just get up
Yes.
one day and tell them to go and sit down.
We've run out of time, but I think what I've learned today is that women, we must actually
Run
get
for
involved.
gubernatorial seat for Lagos.
We will support you.
We must actually play the politics, know what the men are doing.
Yes.
Don't go and go one governor's house, I want godfather's house at 3 a.m. They won't hear. Your husband will
Your husband will kick you out.
But find out the politics, play it well, and hopefully women will come out and support you.
Yeah.
On that note, we end the show. Thank you very much for coming. Don't forget to watch a repeat broadcast at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch repeat episodes by going to YouTube and go /TV Continental and look for Your View. As always, Ebola virus is a deadly disease and has no cure. Maintaining a high level of personal hygiene and cleanliness is the key to avoiding the disease. Wash your hands regularly. God bless you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.